Hi, Joe Bangles here. Today I want to talk to you about Pride, what it means to the LGBTQIA plus community, and what it means personally to me. Pride marches have been taking place all over the world for over 40 years. From the original protest marches, which are all about claiming space and being visible in a world that openly discriminated against people whose gender and sexual identity did not align with the heteronormative expectations of the time, to the celebratory spectacle that is Mardi Gras. Pride has always meant exactly that, being proud. The feeling of being at Pride March is electrifying. Like most people, my favourite part is the beginning, when the anticipation of the colour and joy we're about to experience is broken by the rumble of the bikes. It's LGBTIQA plus tradition that Dykes on Bikes lead these marches, and there's a lot of folklore around how it came about. For some people, it was about superstition, that the rumble of the bikes and the fierceness of the women will clear the bad energy from the streets to make sure the people marching behind them would be safe. Another story is that it was a sign of respect from the community that had been benefiting from the informal protective services offered by the early Dykes on Bikes, getting their gay brothers home safe in a time when it was common for gay men to be assaulted. Other people claim that it's purely logistics, that having bikes interspersed with people walking is dangerous. Whichever story is correct, it is now a universal expectation to see the women and their bikes lead Pride marches. As the president of Dykes on Bikes Melbourne, I have the absolute honour of leading Pride marches throughout Victoria, and over the last decade I've travelled throughout Australia and the rest of the world to ride with other chapters of Dykes on Bikes, leading over 40 Pride marches. It usually comes as a shock to people that I still get nervous at the start of every Pride march, but I do. I see my role leading Pride is to rev the crowd up, to get them excited and energised, to greet the rest of the community with joy and acceptance. The fact that the crowd always responds, that's my reward. I'm always asked which Pride is my favourite, and that's hard to answer because they all have a special place in my memory and my heart. Obviously, my first ever Pride was special, my first Mardi Gras. Leading San Francisco Pride with the chapter that started Dykes on Bikes in 1978 was exhilarating. Leading Iceland Pride was surreal, and I love the annual Chill Out Pride March in Dalesford, but nothing comes close to leading Pride in my hometown, Geelong. Growing up in Geelong, I never thought I'd see the LGBTIQA plus community celebrated in Geelong, but in 2017, I got to lead the first Geelong Pride March as part of the Marriage Equality campaign. And every year since, we've held a Pride March that I have led. This year, over 2,000 people participated, marching throughout the streets of Geelong, and we were celebrated. So why do we march? We march to pay our respects to the LGBTIQA plus people who have paved the way for us to have the changes we have achieved so far. And we march for young people who are searching for hope that they'll be able to thrive in life. And we march to remind ourselves of our own amazing achievements. For most people in our community, their first Pride March is a rite of passage. Every day we face direct and indirect discrimination and judgment that impacts our lives on so many levels. Then to participate in an event that is for us in Australia that is usually so celebratory is so amazing. Pride is something that is deeply personal, but at the same time extremely public. That point where we present ourselves as our true and authentic selves, and we're surrounded by others doing the same. Even though Pride started as a protest, and we still have so many things to fight for, laws to change, and hearts and minds to win over, one of the truly remarkable qualities that the LGBTIQA plus community has is the ability to turn anything into a celebration. A lot of people ask me whether we still need Pride marches, and I think the simplest response is that we still have so many things to fight for, but we'll always need to remind ourselves of what makes us feel proud. Pride is the belief that we have worth and value, and I believe it is our obligation to share that feeling to inspire others to believe in themselves.